Here's the thing, you guys. I've been getting such a big fear of missing out lately. And this summer has been so busy yet so beautiful, like the most beautiful weather I could ever hope for. And I feel like I'm not doing enough, like not enjoying enough. Spring always comes around the corner, and I imagine this summer filled with activities and memories, but I don't see where it went. So I have an idea. So I want to take up hobbies and activities so I can make this summer as memorable as I can before I regret it. All the hobbies I used to do, but always seem to find an excuse not to do them. So I made a bucket list. Pottery, gardening, picnic, landscape, oil painting, sunset, lake swimming, watercolors using lake water on my boat. But the twist is, I'm gonna do all of this today. So let's get to work.
There's something nostalgic about living your life through summers. It just brings out emotions of youth and endless possibility that the other seasons don't seem to bring out of me. But as August starts to roll around, this feeling starts to build. A FOMO of what might have been missed. It could be a summer romance coming to an end, school looming on the horizon, or just the weather cooling down and the feeling of missed opportunity. I've been feeling this all summer, like I haven't done enough, lived enough, or made the most of it. My goal is to reconnect with old hobbies and maybe find new ones, to try and recapture that feeling of endless summer before it's too late. Life just always seems to get in the way. I don't want to accept that idea that I only did these activities when I was younger. I'm doing it now.
That's in. Let's go. Let's get to work. I'm all installed. I'm so excited. I have my wheel here. Obviously, I have my coffee, so I'm happy. Iced coffee season is the best. I've got all of my tools in the front. My favorite sponge. And then I have a bunch of clay, some water, and a towel. I'm not a pottery expert, but I'm gonna do my best. It's something I absolutely love doing. So I'm gonna do some plates, bowls, maybe a mug. We'll see. It's been a while, so I'm also gonna just get used to it again, get in the feel of it, and see what I can make. But we're gonna keep it simple and fun. All right, I'm gonna grab a medium-sized ball for now. I prepped them already, so this could be good.
Pottery's always been something that I was curious about, but didn't pick it up until a few years ago. Still, I wish I gave it more attention this past year. I feel like the urge to create simply for the sake of it is so human. Expressing yourself through art gives you this beautiful purpose in the moment. To fixate on something, creating and liberating, it's just so good for your soul.
Okay, so this thing, I don't know if you can even see it. It's 2 pieces of wood with a metal wire. I'm gonna try and take my, I don't know if this is a bowl. It's like a tiny soup bowl. This is the nervous moment. Okay, that was a success. Actually, this is very good. This worked out really nice. This is so fun. I'm gonna put it on this. This is so fun. It's a bowl / mug.
Pottery, more than anything else on my list, is all about feeling. The sensation of clay covering my hands, the earthy smell of my wet creation, the quiet humming on the wheel. Throwing clay onto the wheel is just so satisfying. It's all about focus. What your hands are doing, slowly shaping the piece, the light touch of my foot on the pedal, and envisioning what my final piece will look like as my fingers slowly make that a reality. It's been so long. I'm focusing on trying not to move, to be steady, and let the wheel do the work, creating something memorable. That's what it's all about. Reconnecting with the feeling of creating.
So I made 3 pieces. I thought I would do more, but this actually took me quite a while. I'm so excited. I made a tiny plate, a tiny bowl, and I think this is a mug. It has also a ridge on the side, which I'm excited about. So once these are a bit more dry, I'm going to sand them and sculpt them a little bit because I do want a nice base shape as well. So I'm excited. These look so beautiful. So pottery is done. Let me get the journal. This is going so good. It's time. I feel so fulfilled already, and we only just did 1 item on our list. It's time to check it off. Doing it in green. We did pottery. This is so fun. So we have gardening, a picnic. Oh, there's so many things coming up. I'm so excited.
There's something so incredibly special about growing your own food. It takes work, and more than anything, it takes patience. To wait until it's ready, it takes months. This year is extra special for me. It's my first summer with a house of my own, where I can do whatever I want with it. And I really wanted a garden. I went a little crazy. Kale, peppers to ghost peppers, beans, lettuce, carrots, radishes, and way too many tomatoes. Growing up, I always loved gardening. Spending afternoons playing around in the dirt with the summer sounds in the background, the splash of neighbors' pools, the summer birds chirping away all while getting my hands dirty. It really is a waiting game, putting in all the effort to grow and nourish your garden, to be rewarded with the most beautiful basket of fresh foods. It just makes it so much more special when the day finally comes to start picking, especially the tomatoes. Warm from the sun, the smell of the vines. And I went hard with my tomatoes. Big beefsteak tomatoes, the yellow ones, heirloom tomatoes, and baby tomatoes too. And I planted 2 kinds of baby tomatoes. The round ones, and then my favorite, the longer grape tomatoes. I feel like gardening is a way to be creative while really connecting to yourself and the planet. To care for something and watch it grow, only to be rewarded with food that you didn't need to pay for. You earned it by working to grow it. That's why it was so important to put this on my summer bucket list.
says brise de mer. You know, there's nothing better than a picnic in the summer with vegetables from your own garden. It's so satisfying. I'm gonna taste. The wine is great, but I added a couple extra things for myself, but let's have a taste of the pepper first. It's so fresh. I put it in the fridge, so it's really crisp. Everything was so warm from the sun. It's pretty good, but I love a cold cucumber. Oh my God. That's so big. I can't believe this came from my own garden. Like a few months ago, I planted these seeds. Now I'm eating it. I know it's so basic, but we're so far removed from our food these days that this is just really refreshing. And then the tomato, you can't go wrong. So good. Bucket list is going really well. So I've been oil painting for quite a few years, and it's been a moment. So I'm very excited to do it again. And I'm very excited to talk about my oil painting journey. And I'm going to do a landscape oil painting of my beautiful scenery. And you know who taught me how to paint is the one and only Bob Ross. He is the best. I watched all of his, well, not all of them, but so many of his videos, and I fell in love with it. He made painting very accessible. So here we are. So I got all of my colors. I realized I only have like blues and greens mostly, so I might, you know, it's green grass, a tree, and then blue, but I think I want to add a mountain in the background and just pretend my backyard has a mountain in it. And then I'll add flowers because I need a little pop of color. So I think I'll be adding some reds, some pinks. We'll see how it goes. Usually I just start and then go with the flow. So I'm gonna start off actually, this is one of my favorite things. This is the liquid white from Bob Ross. I got this on Amazon. He still has his storefront with like all of, anyways, this is what I'm gonna put on my canvas first. He does this technique called wet on wet. And so it makes sure that all the colors just stay wet the whole time so that blending is so much easier. So I'm gonna start by wetting my canvas and then I'll get into it with my snack.
If I can sum up what attracts me to a hobby, I think it would be messy but satisfying. I started my journey with oil painting back in university. Long nights of studying and writing notes needed a little bit of color. I'm thinking back to watching Bob Ross on PBS as a child. I decided to rediscover the joy he would make me feel. It was like magic, watching what he could do with a 1-inch brush in 5 colors. One day, I just went out, got a bunch of paints, and I followed his videos closely at first, pausing every few seconds to try and catch up, but then you just sort of go with it. Let your imagination take you wherever you want it to. Now, I know I'm no Bob Ross, but oil paint is just extra fun to play with. It's super messy and doesn't wash off easily, but it just blends in so nicely. The feeling of smushing around to create new colors, the brightness as you squeeze them out of the tube, and the strong, confronting smell of paint thinner that sometimes makes me a little dizzy. I really love landscapes, just letting it flow as you create. I always find myself in the mountains out west. I've never stopped thinking about them. Maybe I'll have mountains of my own one day to stare at, but for now, I'm adding them to my backyard in my painting. I love bringing them back home onto my bucket list. Trying to cling onto summer is also about trying new things. I love painting, but I wanted something a little more clean. There's something fresh, whimsical, and light about watercolor. I just need to give it a try. And I honestly have no idea what to buy for this hobby, so I just went to the store and I thought I'd grab just anything that seemed good. Taking water straight from the lake, the feeling of the sunset on my face, the slight breeze as I blend the little gems of paint into my dish. The colors soak into the thick paper, creating beautiful designs with that classic watercolor feel. I really love the simplicity of the setup. Just a little paint and paper, a perfect part of my summer list.
It is hot. I'm baking, but I've never tried watercolor before. This was my absolute first time, and I am pleasantly surprised. I got this insane kit. So like the first half is shimmer colors, and then the other one is just all the colors possible. And I'm really happy I got this because I'm kind of hooked. I think oil painting is a little bit messy, so if I want to do a quick art, I can't. It's too much. But look at the results. Look at this. Okay, so we have obviously a strawberry, pineapple, kiwi. The kiwi is a little, I figured out a few areas where I need some work. And I made the popsicle shimmery. It shimmers and it looks delicious. Oh my God. It goes on your finger too when you, the shimmer colors are so fun. So I can check this off the bucket list. I feel like I'm just crossing things out like quickly, but I'm having a good time with it. But I feel like I need to go slower. Like it's fun to be able to just say, yeah, I did that, but then I'm not able to sit down right now and just, take it in. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I did this page. I planned to do a flower and an orange, but I'm getting a little bit hot. So I think I'm gonna go for a little dip. The lake looks pretty good. It's like 40 degrees Celsius today. So I'm sweating from places I didn't know I could sweat. Fun! I'm gonna go swim.
If I only had one activity that completely encapsulates summer for me, it has to be swimming. Those late night swims in a backlit pool, afternoons spent jumping off the boat or dock into the lake, or diving competitions with friends. It all just makes me feel a certain way. The water always finds a way to call my name. Those days where you're just mentally not there or having a rough day, jumping into the pool and floating around always seems to fix it for me. It's always been my favorite sport. A few years ago, I was really having a hard time, and the only thing that helped me was going and spending hours doing laps at my local pool, swimming 5 or 10 kilometers in a day. It's just you and the water. No music or distractions, just one stroke after another. The feeling of floating is the most free I'll ever feel. The worries of the world slip away. It grounds me. If I could describe it, it's that feeling that you have when you're in a million pieces and all over the place and scattered. Then it just all comes together in a single drop of oil on top of the water, collected and clear. I feel one. I can't do a summer day without jumping in the water. I know that a checklist isn't exactly the idea of summer freedom, that trying to fit everything in one day is overwhelming and doesn't exactly give you time to enjoy each moment. But it's a start, a way to dot down your goals, what you want to achieve. It's a way to get going. And when you stumble on that one moment, that one thing on your list that keeps you there a little longer, stay. Stay and keep going to find where it takes you. There were some moments today when I was in the middle of completing a bucket list activity, and I really wanted to just stay. I wanted to keep going with what I was doing. I felt in the moment and content, but then I also felt pressured by my to-do list. There's this notion to try and live each day like it's your last. But who has the energy for that? It's exhausting, and maybe life isn't all about trying to make each moment as amazing as possible, stuffing your head with core memories. Because the truest of core memories just happen. It's hard to force them. You might just find that going with the flow and enjoying each moment as it comes is what works best. We live in a world where we are bombarded by people doing incredible things, and it's easy to stare at an Instagram feed and feel unfulfilled. But stick to yourself and what you believe in. Cherish your friends and enjoy each moment for what it is. Remember activities that made you happy and try not to forget them while still picking up new ones. You have all the room in front of you to grow and to experience. You might feel like you're behind, but behind what? Your life is only yours. The only comparison is to yourself. You're living your life for the first time, and everyone else is too. So don't forget who you are and what you enjoy. Take time to do the things you've always loved and take in each moment exactly as it comes to you.